this is Paul. Welcome back to my channel, The Regular Paladin. And today is Monday, and I'm trying out a new schedule for my channel. So Monday to Friday, you will have regular videos. It will be ranging from 15 minutes to as low as like 5 minutes. So 5 to 15 minutes will be the span of the videos, and you will be seeing them constantly. So a couple of videos a day is hard for me because I'm also handling other channels. So right now I can promise you 5 videos per week, and Saturdays and Sundays I'll be pretty much streaming on my gaming Twitch channel, so you can follow me there, you can hang out with me there, and you can give me ideas for the next videos. I'm doing this pretty much like what the fan wants, what's the fan expected, what's the fan saw, and I'm just giving a voice to them. And if you have an idea, you can say it to me and I will make a video for it and for you guys. Today I'm going to do an overview, overall review of the season 7 of Game of Thrones. I promised you guys, I think last week, but I couldn't do it. But this time around, after the schedule, I'm going to do it rightly. So today I'm going to talk about season 7 as a whole. Well, if you think about it, this season has been the most successful one of all the other seasons. And not just that, it has the ambience of making it in a perfect manner. What I mean by that is, season 1 to season 6 was great. It had its flaws, it had its great moments, but it was a work in progress. And season 7 was the season that paid off all those works that the season 6 have, till season 6 of was built. So it was a paying season, and it really did. And some people might call it a fan service season because it did certain things that the fan would expect them to do. But I would not condone that, kind of like quote. It's not fan service show. It's just a season which paid off the entirety of 1 to 6 seasons. So that's my ideology at least. And this season was the most, highly produced one out of them all, even though it has only like 7 episodes, not even the usual 10. That's because of the amount of CGI effort that went into this one, from like the Spoils of War episode, where the last 15 to 20 minutes was pretty much war, and in the last finale, like the 10 to 20 minutes was like the dragon literally destroying the wall. So the CGI effort in this one was pretty high, and it was pretty rewarding as a fan to see, and I would highly recommend them to increase this effort and increase the production. So in the next season, we think that we have seen everything that Game of Thrones has to offer, but surprise us. That's what pretty much I'm saying. So surprise me in a way that I am really shocked and awed by all the episodes that are coming out in the 8th season. I think 6 episodes, to be honest. And their production is going to be high because it is 2 hours long every episode, and it's pretty much the end of the era, end of war, end of everything. So it's going to be intense, and a lot of characters that are going to be meeting for the first time, so after a long time as well. So it's going to be taking a while, and it's going to cost them a lot as well. So I think it's going to be paid off really well for the fans to see and for the community to enjoy. So this season to me was great. It had a lot of great moments and not so great moments, like the 5th episode that I didn't like one bit. No, sorry, I can't like that episode because that was not the pace that I'm used to. When I watch Game of Thrones, I just lay back and eat popcorn, enjoy it. But when I saw that episode, it was like rushed. It was just like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening? Let me just catch my breath. It was like 2 episodes, 3 episodes worth of content that's just crammed into one. And I still don't understand why that's the case, because they could have just taken their moments and they could have just made it like 10 episodes long, and they could have reduced the production value by not cramming everything in a single episode. They could have just spread it out, and they could have explained a lot of other things in a better way. And the next thing that I absolutely hated in this season was Arya Stark and Sansa Stark's meeting. I don't understand why they were writing it. They thought they were clever by not just making us think that this is annoying, there's going to be something, and they're going to just change it around and pay it off in the end of the episode, end of the season, which really was, it paid off in this finale. But till that point, we are Game of Thrones fan. we came through 6 seasons of Game of Thrones, and we know what is going to happen exactly at that moment, and we know that Littlefinger is going to die, or one of the Stark children is going to die. So anything is going to happen, but that's going to be annoying because the way they took it, the style they took it, the writing was not good. So these two things are mainly my kind of like pissed off moments in the season. But you gotta comment them on something that is amazing, because they had to do a lot of work for this season. I mean, not in a it's a fun way, but it's just a lot of work. The Spoils of War episode, if you guys have time, go and watch the behind the scenes thing where they would explain how the destroying the supply line was taken, how hard it was to make that scene. So I will commend them on that episode. I gave 10 out of 10, I think. If not, I'm giving it now. It's 10 out of 10. That Spoils of War was amazing. They explained everything really well. That pace is Game of Thrones. That episode was amazing and ended with a big battle sequence that everyone would enjoy. So that episode is the great example. Fifth one, they kind of like showed the exact opposite. How you don't want your Game of Thrones episode to be. So 10 out of 10 just goes to like 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. Above average. You have to, it's great because of the effort the actors that put into the episode, but not the writing. I would not give it 8 out of 10 even. So that's that. So the entire season explained us how the war should actually take place. How Daenerys fights, how Cersei thinks, and Tyrion got in the middle of the things like he wants to support Lannisters because he is a Lannister himself, and he wants to support the Queen, who is not a Lannister, who is foreign, who is a Targaryen, and he's caught in the middle. And during the Spoils of War episode, again, we can see his face getting glow, and his army is just getting destroyed, getting wrecked. And I don't know, it's just that episode really made me think that Tyrion is not in his right mind. And we would also see how Tyrion thinks, just taking Castle Rock, doing this, master tactician himself. He learned from his father, but he has his flaws because he's governor and he can handle money. He's the master of coin. He was the hand of the king, so he can handle people. He can handle money, but when it comes to military, he can't handle. So all the plans that he put forth in the the war room was a disaster, and I don't like seeing that, because I always think that Tyrion is the most amazing guy that you would ever see in a fictional world. He's a well-written character in the book, and he's a well-written character in the show, and no one can beat this kind of a character. And when you make that kind of a character a genius one from season 1 to season 6, through his identity, through his escape, through his killing of his father, through his love for what he did, and through his collecting amount of riches that he has, I always think that Tyrion has something under his sleeve. And to make that kind of a character make logical errors in this season, destroy everything that I know of. But they can rectify this in season 8 by doing something clever. What he failed was planned all along or something, because I don't want him to see failing. I don't want him to see betraying Daenerys, and I don't want him to fail getting her the Iron Throne. I just don't want to see him do that. So that's a thing. So that's out of the way. Jon Snow and Daenerys getting together was also something that is frowned upon by the fandom. Some like it, some don't like it. Well, if you think about it, the people who loved it are the people who hated Jaime and Cersei. And I think that's the hypocrisy is totally there. Cersei and Jaime obviously kind of like when in the first season, in the first episode, they were both like self-entitled, brats, spoiled brats, to be honest with you, who just did things because they wanted to. They got together because they can, and it's not love, it's not anything, it's just they wanted to, and which in turn developed into love, kids, and everything from there. So people hated that, people hated incest. Obviously everyone should do, but I don't understand why people love Jon and Dany getting together. Now you can't tell me that they don't know that, man. They don't know that. Well, that's not That's not their problem. The writing should have been so clever that they should not know about each other's, parental lineage. Daenerys should not know about Jon. Jon should not know about his. So that's everything is fine, but they should not have gotten together in the end of the episode. That's just 100% wrong. It could cause so much trouble in the show, and hypocrisy with the fandom as well is just something that is too ugly, and I hope I don't want to see in the next season. I don't know why people ship them. They are a cute couple, and they had good moments in the show. I mean, they are not something, them getting together is not something that is immediately in danger of the story changing into a new one or the plot getting destroyed. I understand that, but I don't understand why people ship them. It's not something that I want to see. Whenever I go to my Insta page and search, just random stuff, I just don't want to see them shipped by random fans, because hypocrite. That's just that. I don't like them together. Jorah and Dany would have made much more sense. I mean, Dany should not be together with anyone. She's the queen that should concentrate on probably taking the Iron Throne and do something that is good for the people rather than selecting her mate. And Jon Snow is not one of that. And Jon Snow should know better, because he is the king in the north and he knows a lot of stuff. And why he fell for Dany is just, it's forced. It's just forced. It's like, it's not a clever writing. It's just like when fandom thinks, they want something romantically happening in the show. Just the writers think, oh right, that's a great idea. Just to do that. Why? Whatever. That I pretty much hated that in this season. And everything else I loved. The meetup in the King's Landing in the last episode, where they could show the night army of the knights. Just one guy, random guy, threatening Cersei and scaring her to a point where she says she would help, but she betrays them, and Jaime leaves them. That's like a clinical point in the show. And I loved how they showed the Night King to be so powerful. He literally killed a dragon and took over that dragon in a single freaking episode. Just like that, he did that. So kudos to him. And the wall has been broken. Everyone thought that the wall is something that keeps them between whatever there lies on the other side, and here everyone thinks that is the case, but no, it's been broken, and it's they are inside to kill everyone that you love and hold dear. So next season would be really, really clinical, really, really awesome. And I'm thinking of things to talk about in my next video, which is about predicting the 8th season, which I'll make this week or next week probably, where I want to talk about the things that I think that's gonna happen. Like, I'm imagining things that can happen in the first episode. First episode is pretty much important, because in the 6 episodes season, first episode is where pretty much everything takes place. And if you don't want to see it drags out a little bit too much, they would put it in the first half hour or 1 hour of the episode in the 2-hour episode. So I want to see that. And I'm imagining things, what would happen, and the meets up. There are still reunions to be happening. In the season 7, everyone was happy because their favorite characters met each other after a long time, which is all fine and good. But there is still a lot of meeting to take place, like Sansa and the Hound, Arya and the Hound, Arya and Gendry. So there's a lot of things to take place there, and I really hope to see them happening. So that's pretty much it. Overall, this season is top 3. And for me, it's top 2. It's the second place. First place goes to season 1. It's just my favorite season of all time, because there's a lot of politics. There's a lot of it was just an awesome season. Ned Stark was there, my favorite character of all time. Second would be season 7, obviously, and third would be season 3. So those are my favorite seasons, and season 7 is at number 2. And overall, I would review it as a world-worthy season. So if you want to watch it, you can watch it like in a binge watch manner, like Saturday and Sunday, just sit forth, or even just like spend like 10 hours of a day on Saturday, just watch the Game of Thrones season 7 thing. Obviously you would have seen it by now, but I'm just saying, if you're waiting for something to happen, or you're just waiting because your streaming service didn't provide them or whatever, just wait for it and watch it. as soon as you can, and you watch it in a binge watching manner where you can enjoy all the episodes in a just a straightforward manner, when you can understand everything in a little bit better. So I would give this season 8.5 out of 10. That's the right number. 9 out of 10 is too much. 10 out of 10 is, if they would have done the season episode 5 in a little bit better way, they could have had my 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 even. But 8.5 out of 10 doesn't seem bad, to be honest with you. 8.5 out of 10. So what's your score? What do you think? And what's your favorite seasons of all time? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button if you like this video. Share the video with your friends and family. Subscribe to the channel for everything that is movies, TV shows, reviews, and reactions. And theories like, is Bran Night King? Is he? I don't know. Let's see. So, hang on to the channel, and I'll be making videos for you guys, and we will build the community together. Thank you guys. I'll see you on the next one.